Okay, for this next part, if you notice, we have sodium, and sodium has 11 electrons. As they start filling them in, we refer again to how many electrons can fit in shell 1, and we said that there was 2. So therefore, we say here that we start off in the first ring by filling them in, we get 2. And then the next shell, we put 8. So 8 plus 2 is 8, 9, 10. So we're left with one more. That one extra electron, you're going to put it in the last shell. Okay, because shell 2 can only have 8 electrons. Okay, so then we move on to magnesium. Magnesium has 12 electrons. Okay, for magnesium, 12 electrons, we'll see again. We start filling them in from the first ring. We have 2 electrons. And the second shell, we have 8. So 8 plus 2 is 10. And those last 2 electrons, you put them in the last shell. Next atom is aluminum. Aluminum has 13 electrons. For those 13 electrons, we're going to start off with the nucleus. We're going to paint it red. And then we're going to start making our rings. How many rings do we need? If it's in the third row, we need 3 rings. One right outside the nucleus, that makes it n equals 1. This is n equals 2. And then lastly, n equals 3. Since it has 13 electrons, we're going to start filling in from the inside out. So we're going to start with the first shell. How many electrons can you fit in shell 1? For refer again over here, n equals 1, you can fit 2 electrons. So you're going to start by filling in 1, 2. You're left with 11 electrons. After that, how many fit in the second shell? Well, you can fit 8 electrons. So you still have plenty of electrons, so therefore you're going to fill all 8 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I am pairing them, and I'm pairing them for a reason which we'll later talk about. So we have 8 electrons in total here, and now all I need is 8 plus 2, we have 10 electrons in total. We have 3 remaining electrons, and those 3 remaining electrons, you're going to put them in the outer shell. Okay. And then we go on to silicon. Silicon has 14 electrons. Again, 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell gives you 10, and then 4 in the last shell. Phosphorus has 15 electrons, 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell gives you 10, 5 in the outer shell, 15. Sulfur has 16 electrons, and those 16 electrons you're going to have 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell giving you 10, 6 in the outer shell. Chlorine has 17 electrons. Okay, again, we're going to draw it. I'm going to draw our nucleus, arbitrary, we don't really need it, just need to make a count that it's there. Next we're going to draw the rings again. What row is it in? It's in 1, 2, 3, so therefore we need how many rings? 3 rings. And out of those 3 rings, ladies and gentlemen, now we're ready to start filling in our electrons. Again, we start inside out. We start with the first shell, which is shell 1. Shell 1 has how many electrons, or at least how many you can fit? 2. 1, 2. Next, you're going to start filling in for the second shell. Second shell, you can fit 8. You have 15 left, so therefore you're going to fit in 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so therefore, if you have 8 plus 2 electrons, that gives you 10 core electrons. So 17 minus 10, you have 7 remaining. Those 7 are going to go in the outer shell. Okay, and if you notice argon has 18 electrons. 10 core electrons, which means 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second shell. And then the valence electrons, you have 8.